What is going on, Nuggets Nation NBA fans? My name is Tom Leuthner. Welcome back to another episode of Nuggets Today, brought to you by Underdog. We're officially sponsored by Underdog. So make sure to scan this QR code right here because I will have a promo code for you guys later on in this episode to give you guys some free money if you guys do want to bet on the big game coming up in a few weekends, as well as some NBA. And I will give you guys what I think are my best projections later on in the episode. I think it's the easiest app to bet on. Pretty simple, just higher, lower picks. You don't have to worry about alternate lines and all that fun stuff. But the worst thing about watching these games, especially when Denver loses, is being on the East Coast and having to stay up until 1 in the morning to watch them blow a game that they should have easily had. But at the same time, the insanity run that they had at the beginning of the game, and even with their bench players, I think is over at this point. I think they just need their guys back. You look at this game, Lakers play 10 guys, and the Nuggets only play 8. And those are the only 8 you can play. The other guys that didn't play were Holmes, Strother, and Tyson, guys that we've seen not getting a lot of minutes. And when Tyson or when Holmes has gotten his minutes, he's been able to hit threes, but he's done nothing else. In the paint, he's been atrocious. But you look at that, and then it comes down to the rebounding, in my opinion. Like, you're not going to win without getting rebounds. And with Denver missing there are only 2 centers on the roster. Zeke's not a center. He's a power forward. He's a small power forward. With Denver missing their 2 centers, that's what's going to happen. You get out rebounded by 20 rebounds, and that's what loses you the game. Late in the game, you need them to miss free throws. They miss free throws, and they get offensive rebounds. So I think that Denver's just, it is now a point of sit and wait until your guys are back. And those guys, the 2 most important, in my opinion, are Jokic and Val, because you need those big men back. Listen, Cam's going to come back eventually. CB's going to come back eventually. You have guys that can make up those minutes. Tim Hardaway can make up those minutes, maybe not tonight, but Payne Watson can make up those minutes. And obviously Spencer Jones can make up those minutes. It's losing the rebound battle by that wide of a margin, which is going to lose you these games, which we saw pretty clear yesterday with what they were able to do. Like I said, they grabbed 20 more rebounds, and when you're grabbing 20 more rebounds, there's nothing that you could really do that helps you out. You have less turnovers. You shoot better from the free throw line. You shoot better from the 3-point line. You shoot worse from the field, but at the same time, 5 more offensive rebounds and 20 more rebounds in total is not going to win you any games. Another tough thing for this Denver Nuggets team is the fact that the Lakers caught on to the game plan. Right, the game plan was it was going to be Jamal versus Doncic, and we knew that. We knew that was going to be the case. But then you look at the scoring for other players outside of that first quarter or that first half, and it was non-existent. It was Jamal, and they caught on to it being the Jamal Murray show, and everything was being thrown at Jamal. Jamal had to take step back fades, and it was tough because I believe they were 1 for 11 from the 3-point line, or maybe even worse in that second half. It was atrocious. They came out, they couldn't hit a single shot, so it just became the game of double teaming and throwing all you can at Jamal Murray and just making it hard for him to score. And when they did that, that was it. That was the game. Like, you aren't able to come out and just score consistently anymore. And again, I think that it was the lack of depth that led to the Nuggets team sort of struggling there. They weren't really able to get much out just because they didn't have a lot of players that were fresh. They had no legs to come in and actually play. And I mean, you look at Bruce, who was one of the guys who had fresh legs. He comes in and goes 2 for 6. So brutal game overall for this Denver Nuggets team in a very, very tough loss. But before we continue with this episode, like I said, I do want to give you guys a little promo code and a quick word from our sponsor. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing an Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. That's right, 5,000 times your cash. The specific game I want to look at is Detroit versus New Orleans. You have one of the best teams going against one of the worst teams in the NBA, but at the same time, I always say it, the Pelicans are playing for something. They don't have their own pick, so my first pick is going to be Trey Murphy higher than 19.5 points, and my second pick is going to be Cade Cunningham higher. Actually, I'm going to switch off that. I'm going to go Duncan Robinson higher than 11.5 points. I feel like I usually go superstars when I make my projections for you guys. So I'm going to go with Duncan Robinson higher than points, and I'm going to go Trey Murphy higher than points. 2 guys I think could get it done in this game. Download the app today and use promo code BASKETBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That is promo code basketball fan. It's on your screen right now. Underdog, make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
Now, on the Lakers, from the Lakers standpoint, the first thing I want to really talk about is just look at the only thing I want to talk about actually on their standpoint outside of them rebounding more is just how good Luka Doncic really is. I mean, he dropped another triple-double, a 38-point triple-double nonetheless, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. He went 12 for 21 from the field, which isn't terrible, but his game is just exciting, and it's not like this crazy outside of him going to the free throw line. I know that everybody, crucifies Shea for doing it, but then glorifies guys like Luka, Denny even, but for him to just his shot is so smooth, and I just that's the thing that gets me, just the high release point, being able to just knock down everything with it barely touching the rim when it goes in. He has such a special game, and he's just unstoppable from every aspect of the floor. He's able to rebound. He's a huge guard. He has one of the best handles in the NBA. He has a nasty jump shot. He's able to pass. He sees things that we don't. He is just such a talented player. He was able to set up every single player on this team tonight. And having a guy like that is what drives you to a championship or potential championship, so to speak. So, kudos to Luka for just being this good of a player. And I'm excited to see if Jamal does get named an all-star, to see Luka, Jokic, if he's back by that time. Jamal, guys like Wemby all play together, because I think that this starting five for this world in the World versus USA All-Star game, is just the best thing we've ever seen. There's no five that are currently better than the five players that are voted in to start, and then you have Jamal Murray coming off the bench, which is going to be electric if he does officially get elected an All-Star, which he should. So Luka's just an insanely talented player. He had the most rebounds in the entire game, which is just nuts at the point guard position, and he had the second most assists outside of him and Jamal Murray. So the last topic I got for you guys today is just the fact that I actually expect a lot more from Tim Hardaway Jr. in this game, especially now. One, because you need him to step up as that veteran talent who's not scared to do anything in these big moments. But two, because he's played against Luka. So you'd expect him to try to be able to stop him a little bit more, which, granted, there's no stopping Luka. We know that. But at the same time, you would have liked to see him get a stop here and there, which he didn't really do that as much. He went 0 for 8 from the three-point line, which it's terrible, because he's the one guy who you expect to be a spark on this team, and then 2 for 12 from the field. And like I said, you needed fresh legs out there. When he was the fresh legs to come out, he did absolutely nothing for Denver. So very upset in the performance of Tim Hardaway Jr. in this game. But that is all I got for you guys today, Nuggets Nation. Like I said, I'm extremely tired getting this episode out for you guys. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Big shout out to Underdog. Make sure you go download Underdog, use promo code basketball fan. And leave a comment down below if you guys want me to cover anything. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.